Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Commander review. We're almost done with the Mirage set, and today we're talking about Telim'Tor, who is a legendary human knight. It's a 2/2. It costs 4 generic mana and 1 red mana, and it has 2 abilities. The first is flanking. I've said this with Sidar Jabari. Yes, Sidar Jabari. I think flanking is a very cool mechanic. I really like the concept of flanking, that you're on horseback. And obviously it makes it difficult for your opponent's creatures to block you if they're not also on horseback. So I like the concept of flanking. Whenever a creature without flanking blocks this creature, the blocking creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. It is also important to note that multiple instances of flanking do stack. So if a creature has flanking, then the defending creature would get -2/-2, or rather, it would get -1/-1 twice. Second ability of Telim'Tor is whenever Telim'Tor attacks, all attacking creatures with flanking get +1/+1 until end of turn. So, I think it's funny to like read this because Telim'Tor is clearly like a flanking commander, but there's not a lot of flanking cards in red. Not as much as there are in white, and flanking has, I think, a lot more support in white. But, with that said, let's get on into it. No card rulings. Telim'Tor is very straightforward. Jabari's Banner, target creature with flanking, gains flanking until end of turn, so if you want to throw in some non-flanking creatures in your deck, you can give them flanking so they can get that boost from Telim'Tor. You can give Telim'Tor extra flanking so you can get more efficiency out of the defender's blockers, so on and so forth. The deck that I am putting Telim'Tor in is a human tribal deck in mono red. It's just about getting a lot of humans out there, going wide, and dealing as much damage as possible. You can do a flanking deck. Now, like I said before, obviously the issue with doing flanking specifically in red is there's not a ton of flanking support, but you can do this thing where it's almost like a provoke strategy where you're forcing your creatures to block, or a goading strategy. You can go a couple ways with flanking to add some extra cards for support. However, there isn't a whole lot of flanking support specifically in red. I think it's doable. It's just not the most supported ability, and I wish we would get more. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll get some more flanking commanders or flanking support cards. But it is doable. You could have some fun doing some aggro, forced combat, provoking kind of strategies in this deck. And then lastly, you can do Knight Tribal. There's not as much Knight support in mono red as there is in mono white or even green. But there are some really cool Knights in red. And then of course you can find ways to like give them flanking or just do this fun like aggro Knight tribal synergy thing where you're going wide with tokens or you're souping them up with insane artifacts and stuff like that. Have fun with it. I think this would be a fun tribe to do in mono red. Or you could do a blend of knights and flanking, because most flanking creatures are knights. So have fun with it. And that is going to do it for Telim'Tor. Obviously, unlike Sidar Jabari, Telim does care specifically about flanking and wanting to use that flanking ability. However, Telim'Tor only cares about flanking, so you can't really go anywhere else without flanking for Telim'Tor. So it's a little bit of a restriction, which is difficult, but it is a unique strategy. There's not really any other cards that do this thing, that focus on this ability. I would love to see more flanking cards in the future. I don't know how that would work, or what kind of set or plane we would need to go to do that. Maybe we come back to Mirage, or the plane that Mirage is on in the future. I have no idea how that would work, Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, if there's anything I missed. And thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!